Here we are. Okay, we're finally live. Alrighty. We are live. This is working. I think. I think we are live. Alright. Finally. Alright. Finally working. Okay. It's working. Oh my god, it's working. It is. It really is working. Holy shit. Alright. Finally working. Okay. Finally. Let me share this on Twitter. What the fuck? No. First ever live Q&A. Hi. You can hear me, right? And see me, right? At Wupius. I'm guessing this slowing down is all because I only have a laptop, and laptops are by far not the most powerful computer you can have. So this sucks for me. Okay, she can hear me, she can see me. Thank God. Thank God it is working. I cannot believe we are actually doing it. Let's just hope it keeps working. Alright, so let's get to questions. Opinions about 2017 in movies, about 2018, what we might expect. Just let me know. Alright, videos. Delete. Alright. I'm just glad this is working. Holy shit. It is so great that this is working. Honestly, it is. I have a top 5. I don't have a top 10 because I'm thinking about doing a top 20 again. Because 2016 I was able to do a top 20. And 2017 in film has been a much better year. And so I think there are way more movies that deserve to be on a list. And I want to do it's bigger of a challenge to do a top 10, just a top 10. But I think we need to celebrate as much movies as we can, so yeah, I'm probably doing a top 20 best. Top 20 best. I don't want to talk much about bad movies, but I'm thinking of doing a top 20 best yet again and a top 10 worst movies of 2017. It was an excellent year. I mean, I talked to a friend of mine not so long ago about how his favorite year that he can remember of movies is 2014. I'm looking back at 2014 and 2017 might even edge it out. Not by much. And I would have to think about it. Worst of the year. I don't want to reveal my top 10, but Emoji Movie is there. What else? 50 Shades Darker? Yeah, Darker was the second one. Is there? Transformers is there. Ooh, what else? What else is there? There was another movie. I'll have movies that I did not give my worst grade to. on the list of top 10 worst. But I have some movies. Let me just check my reviews. What is it? What is it? What is it? Pitch Perfect 3 might show up on that list. What else? Suburbicon might show up on that list. The Mountain Between Us might show up on that list. What else? What else? What else? Oh yeah, The Snowman! The Snowman! Cool Orkan. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Yeah, The Snowman. The Snowman will for sure be on the top 10 worst list. My God, that's not even a finished movie. That sucked. That sucked so bad. Oh my. Oh yeah, The Snowman and Geostorm. Geostorm was worse even by avoiding being the bad movie that it needed to be. But yeah, I'm running down my reviews, and I'm what, September? I'm on the beginning of September with Kingsman, and I have The Big Sick, Logan Lucky. Yeah, I'm on September, and I've already gotten a few. But yeah, you can expect some of the movies I mentioned to be on that list. Oh, best Christmas movies. It's not a good movie, but I love Jingle All the Way. Die Hard, absolutely. Home Alone are staples. I don't watch them every year personally, but they are staples. A Christmas Story. Mostly every version of A Christmas Carol should be a Christmas movie. I mean, you can watch. I relate Disney movies to Christmas, even though they don't necessarily happen on Christmas. But I just. Jumanji, the original one, the ending is set during Christmas when everything turns back to normal. What else? What else? What else? Most Shane Black movies are. Elf! Oh my God, yes! Elf! 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 Elf is an amazing Christmas movie. Another movie that reminds me of Elf, even though it's not that great, is Fred Claus. Fred Claus, the one with Vince Vaughn and Paul Giamatti, where Vince Vaughn plays the brother to Santa Claus. I mean, Santa Claus with Tim Allen from the Disney Channel. Bruna Pires. But yes, Natasha, I am addicted to Elf. Bruna Pires asks, can we expect more collection videos next year? Yes. Yes, and I already got the next one I'm doing down. I'm just waiting for something to be returned to me. I don't know why I'm saying it that way, because I know the person who has a certain item of mine is not watching this. But yes, more collection videos are coming, including a Blu-ray collection video. West K Movies TK, if you had to pick 5 best performances of the year, 5 male and 5 female, what would be your picks? Male, off the top of my head, Gary Oldman, Hugh Jackman in Logan. I haven't seen Greatest Showman yet. What else? What else? What else? I'm going to check my reviews to see more. James Franco in The Disaster Artist is a possibility. What else? What else? 5. You said 5, so I'm 3 down. I'm 3 down. So let's see. Ooh, it's tough. It won't happen. It won't happen, but I would put Mark Hamill on that. I would have Jacob Tremblay as a possibility. What else? What else? James Franco, I said it already. Idris Elba is support. Army Hammer or Timothy Chalamet in Call Me by Your Name for sure. And Harry Dean Stanton in Lucky as an outside shot. That's a certainty. But off the top of my head, and I already said more than 5, those are some of the ones. Frances McDormand for female in 3 Billboards. Jessica Chastain in Molly's Game for sure. Kate Winslet in Wonder Wheel as an outside shot, I won't lie. I haven't seen the post, so I can't comment on Meryl Streep. What else? More female performances. Ah man, we can go back to early in the year. Alone. Jennifer Lawrence and Mother. I wouldn't put her out of the race. And Emma Stone in Battle of the Sexes, it's Emma Stone. So thank you so much, Westgate Movies. Best Christmas, no, not best Christmas, best books. Best books. And it's not only about movies, that's just the main topic, but Natasha, you can ask whatever you want. Best books. I mainly just read Star Wars books and comic books, but I'll say, yeah, because besides that I only read the Battlefront books, even though the Battlefront books is the second one is pretty good, not the first one. But I'm still yet to read Ready Player One until the end of the year, and I reread the book, and I still have to read Norse mythology, which I bought from Neil Gaiman as well. Cool Orkan, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right again, correct me if I'm wrong. What is your most anticipated movie of 2018? I'm also going to do a video on that, but it's no big secret if you follow me for any period of time, and it's Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War. Avengers is my favorite movie of all time. And of course we don't know yet the movies that are coming out late next year and being nominated for the Oscars. We never know that at the beginning of the year, at least until around Sundance. So next year I might do another video, maybe in June, but it's solo. Not even anything in terms of blockbusters comes close to being as anticipated as Infinity War. In 2017, I still remember making my most anticipated movies for 2017 video, and that was a tough choice. Of course, Star Wars The Last Jedi would win, but the number fair all the same. But yeah, the Infinity War is my favorite, is my most anticipated movie of 2018. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for the question. Westgate Movies, West Movies TK says James Franco is objectively a guarantee. I wouldn't say objectively, and I know you're joking, bro, but I would put it as a guarantee. I would bet $100 that he's nominated. Natasha Oliveira says, you have to let me Ready Player One. I know I do. Best TV show of 2017. Did Legion premiere in 2017? I'm not sure anymore. Punisher is another possibility. Not sure if Legion premiered in 2017. Let me just check that very quickly. And send away TV shows that premiere in 2017, guys, because my memory just fails me. Legion FX. Alright. Yep, it premiered on 2017, so I'm going Legion off the top of my head, because I know Westworld premiered last year. Best season in a TV show in 2017. I still have not seen the entirety of the second season of Troll Hunters. Best single season, and because Legion is going to continue, and because I don't want to answer the same thing, I'm going to say Punisher. Punisher is... And I didn't watch that many TV shows that came out in 2017. So I'm going to say Legion for the best TV show, and the Punisher for best single season. Thank you so much, Pupias. And West Movies TK, why is 27 Hours one of the greatest films of all time? Depends on who you're asking. And I would say it's one of the greatest movies of all time. Is it in my top 10? No. My top 50? No. My top 100? Maybe. It's just too much stuff to think about. But yeah, because James Franco gives a great performance. Danny Boyle doesn't shy away from showing what really matters in that film. And because you have to witness a man struggle while he's trapped, fighting for his life. And when something is that relatable, because maybe you like to hike, or maybe because you like to do sports, maybe because you're an adventurer by nature, maybe that works for the film, and for me it does. I have it proudly on my Blu-ray collection. And I still remember watching that film for the first time, and when he's cutting his arm, spoilers for 127 hours, the sound design on that film, it's just, my god. Thank you so much for the question. Natasha Levita asks, what have you been thinking of Last Man on Earth? I'm enjoying the season. It's not my favorite season. It's very slow paced. They're focusing a lot on showing that backstory of the Mexican family, in which one of the actors on there is a former Power Ranger, by the way. And I still want to see what the payoff is for that. But I'm liking it just as I've always liked it. It's still got to reach the end of the season for me to say it's the worst season or it's the best season. But I'm enjoying Last Man on Earth. Will Forte is the man. Bupiash, I thought West Movies TK was a random person when he said the words Franco in 127 hours. I knew who he was. West Movies TK asks, will Snoke be in Rebels? That is a good question. Because for those of you who don't know, and I think everybody that is on the chat board knows this, for the past few years, I've been propaganding Snoke to be Ezra Bridger from Star Wars Rebels. I almost said Ezra Miller there. And I was the first one to come out and say, stupidest person on the internet for the past 2 years right here, because I don't believe he's Ezra Bridger anymore. I do also believe we have not seen the last of Snoke. I do not believe for a single second, at least as of this point in time, we do not understand everything about Snoke in the movies. I think Episode 9 will explore Snoke, and somehow I don't think he's dead, because you don't just put that close-up of his face when Hux comes into the throne room. You don't just focus on that face for as long as they did if he's dead, if everything is resolved on there. I don't think the stuff with Rey is resolved. I don't think the stuff with Kylo is resolved. But will Snoke be on Rebels? That would be very interesting. And will he be Snoke? Will he be like this when he shows up in Rebels? I don't know. But I will also like to know more of the character. I'm expecting a book, and so far of the ones I've read, the canon books of Star Wars, no movie needs those books to be appreciated, no character needs those books to be appreciated. Maybe Phasma, but also today I watched The Last Jedi for the 4th time, and still chance Phasma might be alive. They go to length to show us that she can survive those blaster shots, and when she falls today, I noticed this, there's a surface that is stable under the flames that engulf her. So there is a chance she might be alive, because even the mask is not all the way broken. She just has a little hole on the eye. She still has the entire armor, the entire mask. I will say this: I will not be I will be surprised. I will not be shocked if she's alive. I will not be shocked if she's dead. If she's alive, I will be like, oh, so she's alive. Cool. If she's dead, I will not be shocked. I will be like, okay, so she died there, understandable. But I don't think we've seen the last of Phasma. I certainly don't believe for a second we've seen the last of Snoke. Thank you so much. Boopy has asked, do you think I can finish Clone Wars by the end of the year? Can we make it a challenge? Make it a challenge. Finish Clone Wars, because the last season is still with me, so you have still to see the last season, and then you need to start watching Rebels. Let's be controversial. What do you think about The Last Jedi's flashback, what the fuck? And would it be fair to put Last Jedi in the running for Best Picture? Okay. Right now it's very hard to address the Last Jedi backlash, because it's not a matter of people liking it or not. People are entitled to their opinion. People like and dislike Star Wars movies ever since the first Star Wars movie. But yesterday I watched the John Campea show, and the main topic was the backlash and stuff that was going around on the internet that truly is disgusting. Like, people saying stupid shit like, I I don't even want to utter the words because I avoided searching for that topic. But people were saying stuff like, why is a black guy the main guy in Star Wars? Why are you following the N-word and the Asian chick in Star Wars? This is not my Star Wars. Keep political correctness and racial topics out of it. First of all, these people don't know what Star Wars is because Star Wars, the original, A New Hope, is about a group of oppressed people sticking it to the man. And the man, in this case, the Empire, are Nazis, clearly. The First Order are Nazis, clearly. It's all about the minority rising up and sticking it to the man. And even, I heard even people that went on Wikipedia, the Wikipedia for Star Wars, and they just changed Rose's name to a stupid, supposedly Asian name like Ching Chong and stupid shit like that. So, as far as the backlash is concerned, I've seen people's reasons to not dislike, and again, I've had conversations personally with people that did not like The Last Jedi, and they had their valid arguments. As far as people on comment sections and posting about The Last Jedi, I have not seen one valid complaint about The Last Jedi beyond Jeremy John's spoilers review. And he even liked the film, but the points he presents, I disagree with them completely. I love The Last Jedi. But I see his points, I see where he's coming from, I see why he thinks that way. And I would not put Jedi in the running for Best Picture, because just like with comic book movies, and for instance Infinity War is a movie about a purple alien coming to destroy the Earth, explosion, and I love those movies, I live for those movies. Star Wars, I breathe and bleed and live Star Wars. But it's a movie about space wizards, with a lot of subtext, with a lot of gravitas, but still a movie about space wizards. And in 2017 alone, I wouldn't put The Last Jedi on it. You will be surprised if you see The Last Jedi in my top 10 best movies of the year. Not saying you will be there, not saying you won't be there. I personally wouldn't put it. If it shows up on there, will I be happy? Yes, for sure. But I'm expecting it not to be. Because I thought there was a chance of The Force Awakens being there, but it wasn't. So, again, thank you so much. And I'm sorry if I want to avoid the topic, but it just hit me very much what I watched on the John Campea show yesterday. Zach Pope comes in finally and he says, "Why are you so amazing?" Because you guys make me be amazing, because I wouldn't be nothing without you guys. I need to get that Snoke action figure. Yes, you do. It's weird because I don't see any people collecting these. I see them collecting the Black Series, and I don't like the Black Series because they always have bad paint jobs on them, but these Elite figures are very cool. They're exclusive to the Disney store, by the way, if you all want to get them. I actually bought this one, the Snoke one, in England about 3 weeks ago, and I was there. And Zach Pope, once again, but for real, my question is, what is one of your favorite video games of all time? I'm looking at my video games, by the way. Assassin's Creed as a franchise. Not all the games, but as a franchise, I love it. My favorite single game of all time is Darksiders, because of the mythology, how it explores it. Not so much Darksiders 2, even though I still love that game, but Darksiders 1 is top shelf. God of War is my favorite franchise of all time. Marvel vs. Capcom, the franchise as well. Digimon Rumble Arena 2, I used to love playing that game. I love Tekken 3, it was amazing. Still the best Tekken that I've played so far. I love Injustice, the first one. Guilty Gear is amazing. And those are just some of the ones off the top of my head. I love the Skylanders games as well. Those are pretty cool. Rose is awesome, Bupia says. Thank you so much, Zach, by the way. Rose is awesome, Bupia says. Yes, she is. Philip Miguel, bro, how are you, mate? I'm doing great. Thank you so much for being here. And Bruna Pia says, Space Wizards, yeah! Yeah, Space Wizards are friggin' awesome. I'm not. No, I don't have a Space Wizard right now with me. But I could get top shelf, so I just laid him there. Luke and Ray also kept falling off. I gotta say, video kinda sucks, but it's doable. Yeah, my internet. I still need to play that. I haven't played the remaster. Let me put down the Evil Space Wizard. I still haven't played the Evil DuckTales remaster. The Evil DuckTales. What the fuck am I saying? The DuckTales remastered game. But I'm very curious. I still haven't played the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy either. I still really want to play that as well. Bro, if you love movies, and I know too well you have to play The Last of Us. I still haven't played The Last of Us. That is out there now. And I want to buy it. I want to buy the remastered PS4 version because I've heard it's well worth it. But it just wasn't available at a reasonable price when I was actively searching into buying it. But I really want to play The Last of Us, and supposedly they're making a movie, because of course they are. I want to buy it, and even I, without having played The Last of Us, even I saw shades of The Last of Us in the first trailer of Logan when that came out. So yeah, I will play The Last of Us once I get the chance, but I want to get the physical game because I avoid digital shit whenever I can. Gabriela Mendes asks, how many movies do you watch a day? On a free day, if I'm, for instance, tomorrow, Christmas Eve, I'm going to spend the whole day watching movies, or rather TV shows, because I have to catch up on a whole lot of TV shows. But if I don't have to catch up on TV today, I watch maybe 3 to 4, maybe 5 movies. And I'm going to try to do that until the end of the year, because there are lots of movies I watched this year that I did not review. Just the other day I watched The Ballad of Lefty Brown from A24. And it was just fine. I watched it. It's okay. I liked Bill Pullman in it, but I just didn't feel like reviewing it. I'm watching Victoria and Abdul this coming week until the end of the year because I want to beat my own record of movies I have watched this year, and I'm almost at 230. Last year it was just 170. But yeah, on a free day, from morning to night, on a free day I watch maybe 3, 4, exceptionally 5 movies. And that's if the movies are at maximum 2 hours. Thank you so much for asking. By the way, are you a fan of strategy games? And man, we gotta meet one day and speak about stuff. Philippe Miguel asks, as far as video games are concerned, I'm not so much a fan of strategy. For instance, it's not that it is a bad game. I don't think badly of it, but I was never a fan. I was never attached to the Metal Gear franchise just because it wasn't for me. Not that I don't see what other people see in it, but it wasn't for me. As far as board games are concerned, I have played a few throughout my life, and I've enjoyed them. I do not actively seek to play them. I do not ask friends at a party to put on a strategy game like Risk or something. But if I am at a party and the people want to play a strategy game, I'm in, I'm game, I'll do it, for sure. Not the biggest fan, but I enjoy them. And we gotta meet one day. Well, you know where I'm from. Whenever you want to meet, ask me if I'm going to this movie at this shopping mall at this time of day, and we'll for sure meet, man. It would be my extreme pleasure. Bruno Piaz asks, how was your Comic-Con PT experience? It was something that I will always cherish. I got the chance to interview some wonderful actors that came here. I got the chance to be press, and the amount of encouraging words and support I got, even from people that don't personally know me and I don't talk to them that much about anything besides movies and what we thought of movies. The amount of support I got was wonderful, and I'll always cherish this experience because it has helped me evolve. It has shown me that people believe in my work and see how much effort I put into what I do and how much I love what I do, because I do love talking about movies and watching movies, and movies are my life. And what I do right now making reviews, being right here, right now, talking to other people just on chat boards about movies, that is technically being on the film industry. It's on the outside of the film industry, but it's still that. The fact that not even 2 years on YouTube, and I get to be press because I am from such a small country, and I'm the only guy doing this. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm thankful. I'm cherishing the fact that this happened to me, and I'm taking this experience with me, and I will never forget it for the rest of my life. It was a wonderful experience, very different experience, but I still loved it. I got to hang around with Joe Reitman just because he was there and I was here, and we met, we talked a bunch. But it was funny because, be it post walking and maybe, oh, can I take a picture? That would be great, yeah. And I was never able to find one. And this year, this year that I was pressed and that I could just meet them and see them and them just walking the floor. Just, oh, there they are. Okay. And, and so it's funny that's when I find them on the floor movie, but I believe you already did. So what do you think of it? Well, I have my review on the channel if you want to check that out. I'm also going to see The Disaster Artist once it premieres over here on the 3rd or 4th. I'm not sure when the pre-screening is. I love The Disaster Artist. The Disaster Artist is funny. It's compelling. It's got this beautiful, honestly, beautiful story about friendship and about fighting for your dream, but it's not done at all in the cliched way. It has fun with the fact that it is a story about someone who wants to accomplish their dream, because you see the incompetence that Tommy Wiseau had for direct, very compelling in that way, and very funny like it should be. They did not just make fun of Tommy Wiseau, they had fun with him, with his story, with how weird and alien he actually is. So yeah, I love The Disaster Artist for all those reasons. Already seen it twice, by the way. I saw it at Lisbon and Sintra Film Festival, and I watched it at the in London. I took my girlfriend to see it in London, so she already watched it once. Philippe Miguel once again. Man, I am sad I forgot to see some of the actors panels in this year's CC. Sorry to hear that. I missed some as well, but purposely so because I wanted to get a chance to talk to them, and I already did talk to them when they had the panel, so I wasn't that invested in the panels this year. But sorry to hear that you missed some of them. But it was 10 times better than last year. I agree. I like this Comic-Con better than last year. People complained about the low energy, and I think they had their reasons mixed up. There was a lower energy this week at Comic-Con Portugal, but that's because of the fear that was looming over Comic-Con about it possibly leaving for Lisbon, which will suck, but that's a whole nother topic. Thank you so much, Philippe. Boopias asks, what did you think of the Schmodown Spectacular? The Schmodown Spectacular, I saw a review, a comment on the Schmoville group. I think it was the Schmoville group, that it was the best Schmodown event ever. Maybe it probably is. I love the production. They had a lot of people there. I love the matches themselves, and everyone I wanted to win won, except for Above the Line. I wanted them to beat the Patriots. They unfortunately didn't, and I wanted Christian to beat Sam Levine, and he didn't, and he really had a weak game. I'm not sure why that happened. Maybe it was because he recently had a daughter, and he just can barely sleep. Poor man. I still love Christian. I mean, it's just fun, and I'm glad Sam Levine is champion. He just didn't win the title I wanted him to win. Yeah, it was a great show. Jason Inman beat Hector Navarro. Finally, that dude is not champion anymore. I just don't like the dude. I have nothing against him. It's just the character. Sorry. But yeah, I loved it. I loved the Star Wars match with Whitwer and Ken Napzok. That was amazing. and John Campia just did a video where he is watching the video live and playing with him. I still want to watch that. Um, that would be pretty cool. Um, I'm going to your comment next, Pedro. But yeah, I love the Schmodown Spectacular. It was amazing. That is one of my dreams, if you want to call it that. I would love to participate in a Schmodown or in a Schmodown type of event. Maybe if it's just a party with friends, I would love to make something like that happen. But yeah, the Schmodown Spectacular 2 was amazing. It truly is now solidified as their WrestleMania, and they have two other events: the Free for All and Collider Collision. I hope they add another event this year, because WWE has the Big Four, and of course Collider cannot produce an event every month, but it would be cool for them to have a Big Four as well, and just a four I would have missed on the Star Wars round. I was really ashamed of myself last night, but the Inner Geekdom, I nailed that shit. I would have even have beaten Inman. So if everyone from Schmoville or Collider is watching this, and I am absolutely 1000% sure they are not, invite me to the Schmodown, please. Just get me a couch on somebody from the team's couch. Get me a couch on somebody from the team's house, and I will pay for the traveling and everything. Thank you so much for asking about the Schmodown, because I love talking about the Schmodown. Felipe Miguel, any ideas on maybe one day make a separate YouTube channel for random gamings and streams? No, honestly no, because I'm not that big of live streaming my games, because I just like playing for the story. I like games that have story. That's why I like Assassin's Creed, God of War, Darksiders. I like Watch Dogs even. That's another example. I like my fighting games for sure, but for instance, Injustice is a game I do appreciate a lot of the story. Marvel vs. Capcom also has a very small, very comic booky, direct to action story, but I love it. I still love those games, but I'm not really a fan of, alright, let's stream this live to people, because I like to focus on the game and on the story, and it would just take too much time away, because already this year I was not able to review some movies that I watched because I just didn't find the time. And some days I even watch more than one movie, as I said before, and I want to review them all, and I just run out of time because I have to do so much stuff, because I want to watch this TV show or that TV show or this movie, and I want to play a little bit. I want to read a comic book or a book, or play my Nintendo for the Pokemon games, and it's just not something that appeals to me. And I've always been a defender of doing what you love and what you like on YouTube. And if I did not like what I do, the movie reviews, I wouldn't do that. And if I did not like doing them, and I still did them, you guys would enjoy it, because I would be boring, and I would be bored doing them if I did not have a passion. And I just don't have a passion for live streaming games, so that's why I'm not doing it. But thank you so much for asking, Philippe. And definitely need to check out Nightfall. Yes, you do need to check out Nightfall. It's great so far. It's not, I wouldn't put it in my top 10 TV shows of all time, but again, just 3 episodes in, but it's exactly the type of TV show that I love. Medieval time period, swords and fighting, and the mystical story of the Holy Grail and the Knights Templar. There's never been a show about the Knights Templar. The only thing I've ever seen of the Knights Templar is a movie called Last Resort with James Purefoy. I love that film. And I've always wanted to see the Knights Templar explored more. I've always been fascinated by their history, and I love their history, and I've always wanted to see it, and we finally have a TV show, so check out Nightfall. Thank you so much, Philippe. And West Movies TK, we need a Schmodown in the geeky community. You're goddamn right with you. And I promise you this. If I ever get quote-unquote big on YouTube, and I'm able to be a guest or a host on some type, shape, or form at Comic-Con Portugal, I will make a Geekdown happen. I'm not going to call it that. That's not the official name. But if I ever get big, to be able to talk to the organization at Comic Con and put something together for you guys, the geeky community, and everyone else that wants to participate in this, I will make a schmo down type of thing happen at Comic Con Portugal. You can rest assured. Bet your ass is going to happen if I ever get big enough to have that quote unquote power. But I will absolutely want that. Boopyish, we should have bought that movie trivia thingy at HMV. We should have, but it wouldn't have fitted on the bags because Ryanair sucks. But you are going to live in London next year, love, so you know, it's around the corner. Gabriela Menz asks, comedy or fantasy? Fantasy. Fantasy is my favorite genre. Fantasy is my favorite. It's my favorite type of stories to tell because I've always loved how you can give layers in a fantasy setting. Star Wars and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade works for those who haven't seen it. Just it's fantasy. It's my favorite genre. Always been, always will be. But I love my comedies for sure. We were just talking about Christmas movies earlier in this live stream. And I'm sorry, we were just talking about Christmas movies earlier, and most of the Christmas movies I love, and the Christmas movies that are synonymous with Christmas are comedies. So I love my comedies. I love every genre, to be honest, as long as they are well executed. But fantasy is my favorite genre. I gave a chance to every single Twilight film because it's a fantasy film. But thank you so much for asking, Gabriela. P.S. says, I'm printing some new trivia games for us to play on the New Year's. That is awesome. That is amazing. I hope there's just not 4 of us, because it will be cool to play with a lot more people. But that is amazing. Great idea. Thank you so much. Gabriela Menz asks, Dark, new Netflix show. Have you seen it? No, but I want to. I'm catching up on Troll Hunters. After that, I am watching The Crown. After that, I am finishing up Sons of Anarchy, in which I've been stuck on the last season for like a month or 2. And I ate the whole show, the first 6 seasons, in like 3 weeks. And I want to finish that, but Dark is definitely on my list. Dark is definitely a series I want to watch. It's German or Swedish. It's European. It's not English. That I know. And the trailer really intrigued me. I'm not going to say the trailer was amazing and it immediately hooked me, because otherwise I would have started watching it. But there are just so many TV shows right now. My God. I have to catch up on so much stuff. TV shows and anime from this season. This season, it's German. Thank you so much, Gabriela. I have to catch up on so much stuff on anime just this season. I only watched the Shokugeki no Soma, Food Wars. Of course, I'm watching Dragon Ball Super. But just so many TV shows, man. I'm so thankful I got to watch The Punisher before it was released, because otherwise Punisher would have come out on the day I went to Lisbon to start the Lisbon Film Festival. That was also the same day I watched Coco on a press screening. So I watched Punisher luckily a week before it came out. I recorded my review like on Monday, and then I edited it and got it ready for Friday, and I uploaded it as soon as it came out on Netflix. And then by the time the review was online, I was watching Coco. I went to my hotel, got the check-in, went up to the room, set up everything, recorded the review for Coco, edited the review for Coco, uploaded the review for Coco. Just after that, I had lunch and then started LaFest. But that is just why I have not started watching Dark or any of the other TV shows I want to watch. But just yesterday, I started the 2nd season of Troll Hunters. I'm on the 7th episode, and I'm not sure how many episodes this one has, but I really want to watch Dark, Gabriela. So let me know if you've seen it, if you thought it was good. No spoilers, please. But it's definitely a show that I'm interested in. And Newt is here. Sorry I'm late. Hello, Newt. Welcome. Start sending in your questions. Give out your opinions on other people's questions. Coolio Robles. I'm sorry. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Yo, what is up? Welcome welcome to the chat. Thank you so much for being here. Ask away, give your opinions away. Movies, books, TV shows, anything you want to talk about and sharing your opinion on, just let us know. We are what? We are about 1 hour into this? Yeah, 1 hour into this. This is awesome. 7 of you are watching this, and I am so thankful for all 7 of you guys. Seriously, thank you so much. Just before we started this live stream, I was unpacking the Star Wars Elite figures that I still have on the box. I got Poe and Finn out of the box. I was just about to get Rose out, and then the live chat started, and because I finally was able to make it work. Because it was a bitch to make this work, believe you me. My God, what a pain in the ass this was. But thank you all so much for being here, guys. Alright, just waiting for more questions. Any other hobbies you into, though? Exercising, if you want to consider that a hobby. Reading books, reading comic books. Collecting, if that can be considered a hobby. As you can see, I'm not shy about collecting stuff. If you want to consider that, I like baking. I like cooking. But yeah, I'm a pretty boring guy besides watching movies. We always go to the pre-screenings on Wednesdays before the movie's premiere get released over here in Portugal on Thursdays. And I like that not just because I'm watching movies earlier and I can review them. I always go with a small group of friends, and I always appreciate that. That is always our weekly gathering, and that is also the main reason why I go to those. Because this year I had the press screening for Flatliners. Flatliners sucked, and then I went to the pre-screening with my friends to watch Flatliners again. I could have said no. I could have told them Flatliners suck, let's not watch it. I refused to, but I like to hang out with my friends, so just hanging out with friends is cool. So thank you so much for the question, brain fart. Newt, who do you think win in a fight? Who do you think would win in a fight? Phasma or Boba Fett? Well, Boba Fett got defeated pretty easily, while Phasma... I talked earlier today, I still believe there's a chance Phasma might be alive. But Phasma was not defeated. Phasma kicked Finn's ass. She thought he was dead, and then he caught her off guard. But I don't know, reading the Phasma book... and not having that much canon material on Boba Fett, I'm going to say Phasma. Because she has never been actually defeated. And she has defeated like 4 or 5 guys when she was already badly injured in the book. So I'm going to say Phasma. Even though if you ask me which is my favorite character between the two, I'm going to say Boba Fett. Because of Mandalorian. But yeah, I'm going to say Phasma on that one. Gabriella says, Dark is incredible, complicated, mysterious, I loved it. Well, I'm definitely more pumped, even more now that you say that. Thank you so much, Gabriella. Felipe Miguel, any old WB comics like DuckTales, Donald Duck, and etc. No, I never got into buying comics around that time. I always had those Portuguese versions of the comics like Spider-Man, The Incredible Hulk, The X-Men, Fantastic Four, Batman, Superman, Justice League. I always had those. I always liked the obvious, the big ones, the superhero ones. I was never into the comic books of DuckTales or Donald Duck, but I always loved the TV shows. And when I was young, in the 90s, in the early 2000s, the Disney afternoon shows, I've always loved those as cartoons. As comics, I never got into them because even as a kid, when I got the Spider-Man, the Hulks, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, the Supermans, the Batmans, the comics, I never read them as a kid. I always looked at the images. Oh, so cool. So cool. Batman is here punching this guy, and then he's here punching this dude. And then I just never read them. But I've always loved them as TV shows. Coolio Robles, thank you so much for correcting me. You like Netflix's Transylvania? Yes, I did very much, and I have a review of it on my channel. Bupia says, oh, come on, Phasma. So, another vote for Phasma on Newt's question. If you could have any figure, doll, pop as a Christmas present, which one would it be? That I still don't have? I mean, I could just name 1,000 hot toys that are out there. Of Star Wars, of Batman, of my favorite movies out there. But pop, there's one pop that I don't have, and that I don't see myself ever having, because the price is not ridiculous like 400, 500, 1,000, but it's not something I would pay for it. It's going to around 60 or 70 bucks, and that is Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. I would love to have that pop, because I just love Bane. But yeah, that would be the one probably. Felipe Miguel says Castlevania Season 2 better come early this summer. I think it's coming out in May. I might have that wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I'm having the impression I remember a May date or a March date for some reason. I know it's early in the year. I know it's early in 2018. It's not like after June. It's not on the second half of the year. I know it's on the first one, at least that. But I'm looking forward to it as well, Philippe. Nothing too obvious. Haha, Bupias. Coolio asks, biggest disappointment film this year? That's a great question. That's a very good question, Coolio. Just off the top of my head, let me search my reviews. This is the go-to. I look at my reviews and I can remember more or less how I felt about movies. Pitch Perfect 3 has got to be one, even though I wasn't necessarily hyped for that because I was already disappointed on the second one. Thor Ragnarok was a disappointment that I was thinking. What else? Breed. I was disappointed in Breed because I was looking for this very powerful movie, but it wasn't that. What else? Jigsaw. I was kind of hyped for Jigsaw because I love the Saw movies, all of them. They are not all good, but I love all of them. And Jigsaw was just should have stayed on a shelf. But yeah, those are some of the ones I'm thinking. The Snowman. Oh my god, the Snowman. Yes, it's the Snowman for sure because the Snowman has such cool trailers. The Snowman was so promising from the trailers. The Snowman looked like a David Fincher type of film. And then a turd came out. A giant turd the size of Norway came out. And it was an incomplete movie. It was not even finished. So yeah, I gotta go with the Snowman. Geostorm was also disappointing, even though I was wanting to see that film because of how ridiculous it would be. And it would be like this triple X kind of film that knows it's ridiculous and it has fun with it, and Geostorm was just a way too serious movie for what it was. Bupia says, mine would be either Harley Quinn Hot Toys or Rey Last Jedi Hot Toys. I would have answered Kylo Ren Last Jedi or Luke Skywalker Last Jedi Hot Toys, but those aren't even out yet, and I'm planning on getting those, so those were not answers in my head, but absolutely I would get the Rey Hot Toys as well, for instance. Philip Miguel, on who you think we'll see in this next Netflix Castlevania and with season 2. I'm not sure what the question is. If you mean characters, I have no idea, because what I know of Castlevania is the TV show. That's it. I never play the games. My best friend loves those games. My best friend is addicted to those games, and if he was here, he would tell you everything about Castlevania. I'm not into the lore. I was never into the games, so I don't know who we might see. But just as a TV show, if you're asking me, I don't know if we should expect any new characters of importance. Maybe one, maybe two, but I wouldn't expect that many, and just follow the son of Dracula and what's the main guy's name? Hector? It's not Hector. The main guy's name is not Hector. But I would just expect the 3 characters we saw by the end of the first season to be the characters we follow this season. Coolio I'm sorry, I don't want to mispronounce your name, man. Let me go up on the chat. Robles. Sorry. Coolio Robles says around spring and longer than previous season. Yes, it's around spring. So thank you so much, Coolio. And it's going to be longer. Yeah, they confirmed 10 or 13. I'm not sure if they confirmed 10 or 13 episodes for the second season of Castlevania. Bupia says Pitch Perfect was super disappointing, as well as Geostorm. Yes, Geostorm was disappointing because it wasn't good, bad, just boring bad. Yes, it was boring bad. Gabriela Mendes asks, what do you think of the Scream saga and the TV show? The TV show, I gave up on it after the first episode. It was just not for me. It was sort of like Scream Queens, but it took itself seriously, and I just did not buy into that. Did not gel with me. But if you like it, absolutely, for sure, I celebrate that with you. The franchise, the movies, I like them. I like them fine. I don't have them in my Blu-ray collection. I haven't found them on Blu-ray. If I did, I would probably buy them. I enjoyed the first one. I enjoyed the second one. The third one is a bit stretched, especially with the twist. And the fourth one is just laughably bad. For me, if you like them, that's awesome. That's awesome. I respect your opinion, and I celebrate that with you. Thank you so much. And do you have a Letterboxd account? No, I don't. I mean, I do, but I don't use it because I have YouTube, I have IMDb. I just didn't find a use for Letterboxd. So I do have an account. I can't even remember my name on that, but I don't use it. But thank you so much for asking. Coolio says, Justice League was mine. It was alright, but I expected more, you know. I absolutely. I also thought it was good. I liked it. I'm going to buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out. But it definitely wasn't a movie that it needed to be, that it should have been, that it deserved to be. And we all know the scandal that came out after Justice League with all the executives and Kevin Sujihara just guaranteeing that release date and not delaying the film because he wanted his bonus, and that is complete bullshit. Don't ever tarnish your movie projects or the visions of your directors because you want a fucking bonus. Because if Justice League would have been great and would have been amazing, and if critics had praised it, and if you would have given it more time to develop, and even give more time to the film, and not even establish a 2-hour rule, maybe you would have even made more money, Kevin Sujihara. So think about that. Thank you so much, Coolio. Dracula's Curse is really difficult. Grant is a character who is yet to appear, so we hopefully will see a character named Grant on Castlevania 2. Thank you so much, Coolio. Newt, would you ever attempt to watch a plus 800 episode anime like One Piece? Did you know it's getting a Hollywood TV adaptation? No, at least not One Piece. I don't like One Piece. Never did. Never got into it. Never understood the love for it. I respect everyone who loves it, for sure, just like everything. But I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy One Piece. It's just the wrong vibe for a story like that. The look doesn't appeal to me. It's just not for me. Would I attempt to watch any anime that has plus 800 episodes? Maybe, if I was interested enough. maybe it would be something for me. Like if I had never seen Dragon Ball, and I would just start watching I know it doesn't have 800 episodes, but if I had never seen it, I would probably give a chance to Dragon Ball because it clearly would appeal to me. But no, One Piece, it's just not a good example. For instance, I have tried watching Fairy Tail, but when I tried to watch it, I was just like now, super engrossed with too much stuff to watch. But I will give Fairy Tail another chance in the future. I didn't watch it yet because I just didn't find the time. But Fairy Tail is certainly something that I will give a chance to. I'm still midway through Hunter x Hunter, or Hunter x Hunter, however you want to say it. And it wouldn't be the first time I caught up and watched the entirety of an older completed anime. But One Piece, the example you gave, Newt, no, I wouldn't watch that. But I know it's getting a Hollywood TV adaptation, just like Cowboy Bebop is getting a Hollywood TV adaptation, just like Naruto is getting a Hollywood TV adaptation. We know these adaptations are coming. We hear they want to make them. I'm not sure if it is happening because we hear it's in development. Being in development means people want to make it. People are working on it. Does not ever guarantee that it's going to happen. The minimum that you should expect for it to actually happen is to hear a cast and that it's actually in pre-production for that show. When they say development, don't expect it to actually happen because every year thousands and thousands of movies and TV shows are in development. And 9 out of 10 TV shows and movies and anything else that is in development don't ever turn out and happen. So so just don't expect it until you hear that production has officially started. Omar Rios asks, I hear an accent. Where are you from? Portugal. Felipe Miguel asks, I personally believe Justice League was very rushed. Yes, almost no character development. Yes, some forced jokes, but good fighting scenes. Yes, and good chemistry between the characters. And the characters that were already developed, from previous movies were even more developed. The characters that were developed were even more well developed in this film. It was just bad that they did not give much development to Cyborg or Flash or Aquaman, and those were the ones that needed development. And even Steppenwolf. If you go and right now search on the internet for how people are talking about the deleted scenes of Justice League and how much they developed Steppenwolf, wow. Wow, what dumbasses to have cut that out. Because Kevin Tsujihara wanted his bonus. Lupi has asked, who are your favorite YouTubers? The team at Collider, the entirety of the team at Collider, because they make so much amazing stuff happen. They work so hard. They put out several videos every day. I love all their podcasts. I watch all their videos. The shows, Heroes, Movie Talk, I'm So Sad TV Talk is Dead, Mailbag, and the team is just amazing. Those people, you see those people talking and doing their stuff, it's so cool. It just seems like you could be friends with them if you were from LA or stuff like that. Stuckman is an inspiration to me. Jeremy Johns is a really cool dude. Seems like a really cool dude. I love John Campea. I love how honest he is, and he doesn't give a shit about what others think of his opinion. He just cares about giving his honest opinion, being honest with people. And sometimes, I will say, he's a little bit too aggressively honest with the words he uses, how he phrases his thoughts. But, you know, that's people. Nobody's perfect. I sure am not perfect. Just look at the way I'm speaking in this live stream. I have stumbled with my words a very few times. Not few times, a lot of times. See, it just happened. But those are my favorites. Yeah. Those are the ones I follow. I follow other channels, but not necessarily because of the people, more because of the content. Like, there are people I watch and they make videos where their voice is not even present. It's just clips of stuff and then lettering, like videos about Easter eggs on movies and stuff like that. But yeah, those are my favorites. Hollywood adaptation doesn't sound appealing. Consider previous anime adaptations. That is very true, Coolio. That is very true. But again, it can work. it can work. They just need to do it the right way. It has never worked. I will not be confident about a Cowboy Bebop adaptation, but it can work. Everything is possible. But I'm with you. It has never worked. I'm not confident for it. I'm not looking forward to it, but it has a chance to. Newt, sorry. Brain farted that again. Yeah, I get it. It took me 50 eps to get into One Piece. I found it boring at first and kind of too silly. Yeah, I did not find it boring. Boring is certainly a word I would not use to describe One Piece. But just too silly. Not for me. Not the type of silly that I enjoy with that show. But again, it's something that a lot of people love, and I can completely see why. I like a lot of stupid anime and a lot of stupid movies and a lot of stupid TV shows. So for sure, it's only I completely understand why people love One Piece. Omarius, ever hear of a movie called The Fall? The Fall. I've heard of the TV show. Not sure about the movie. Let me check IMDb on my phone, Omar. The Fall. Oh yeah! Oh yeah, the one with Lee Pace. It's directed by that dude. Tarsem Singh. Yeah, I love The Fall. I've seen The Fall. Pretty cool movie. Pretty weird. Pretty weird. You are not you see The Fall, you see the trailer for The Fall. You are not expecting the movie you actually get, and that was a very lucky surprise. Really, I really enjoyed that movie. Thank you so much for reminding me of The Fall, Omar. Coolio he says, the third act of JL is my favorite only because we see Henry shine as Superman more than before. He easily mopped the floor with Steppenwolf. This movie was at least good service for Superman. Yes! Yes, I love... Justice League did one thing really well. I'm thankful for Justice League for the fact that I think, personally, and I know I'm in the minority, Man of Steel is a masterpiece. For me. I understand other people that don't think so. Completely understandable, and I respect that. For me, it's a masterpiece, and I just love the fact that it finally happened. Justice League finally found that balance of a new version of Superman and the old classic Superman, and gave that to us on Justice League. I said in my review, people who have complained about Superman in the DCU are going to love him here, and apparently Coolio does. I've seen a lot of people do as well. That is just so cool. I'm just so glad we finally saw Henry Cavill shine, because he's so good as Superman. He's just amazing, and he does mop the floor with Steppenwolf. You're absolutely right, Coolio. Thank you so much. Philip Miguel asks, man, Hacksaw Ridge. Yes, I watched it at home, but said I couldn't see it at the cinema. Good saved all those... What? Dude saved all those, mate? What a... Oh, yeah. The dude saved all those, mates. Yeah. Hacksaw Ridge was a grueling experience. I mean this in a good way. I opened my review with... This movie broke me. And it did. It did. Hacksaw Ridge was... Wow, my God. It was my fourth... It was my fourth or fifth favorite movie of last year. Sorry. I know Hacksaw Ridge was my top 10, my top 5. Not sure about the numbering, the exact numbering anymore. But I know I loved Hacksaw Ridge. I know I loved it, and I know it was my top movies from last year. Not better than Braveheart, but certainly... not far from it. Would be my second favorite Mel Gibson movie. One of my favorite Andrew Garfield performances, and fantastically so. He did an amazing job in that film. Vince Vaughn was great in that film. Sam Worthington was great in that film, and Hugo Weaving as well. He's on screen for a very small amount of time, but my God, Hugo Weaving is so amazing as Andrew Garfield's father. I also said this in my review. The story of that guy, that Andrew Garfield plays, Desmond Doss. I hope I'm remembering the name right. Desmond Doss. Yeah, I think it's Desmond Doss. I said this in my review as well. The fact that I didn't know that dude before, I felt ashamed that his story is not more out there and more celebrated, because that dude is a fucking hero, man. And Felipe Miguel says, to be honest, I really wish I could enjoy Blade Runner this year. Sadly, it bore the hell up. The first part had to get something to eat and kind of keep myself entertained. Well, I respect your opinion, man, but I have to completely disagree. That is next level filmmaking for me. Omar Rios asks, what do you think of Tim Burton? I really enjoy his style. The dude definitely has a vision, has a style to him, has a visual palette to him. Definitely has a style of moving the camera, of telling stories. When you watch a Tim Burton film, that's when you can see a great director at work. When you watch a film, you don't know who directed it, and you can tell this dude directed it. And Tim Burton movies certainly have that. For instance, the Mrs. Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children from last year, I did not end up liking that film very much, but just the visuals on that film, the way Burton directed it, that is a Tim Burton movie. And I love apologies. And I love a lot of his earlier work. My favorite film of his is Ed Wood, for sure. I love Ed Wood. Ed Wood is a genius film. And we talked about The Disaster Artist earlier in this chat. Go watch Ed Wood if you enjoyed The Disaster Artist. Ed Wood is amazing. And Johnny Depp gives probably his best performance for me. I also like Sleepy Hollow. I really enjoyed Frankenweenie. He did direct Frankenweenie, right? I really enjoyed Corpse Ride. Sweeney Todd is great. And Edward Scissorhands is great. He has a lot of great movies. Lately, I've not enjoyed his work so much. But he's certainly capable of bringing himself back. Because even though I have not enjoyed his latest works, I cannot call them shit. I end up not enjoying them very much, not wanting to see them again. But they are not shit. They are not bad, outright bad movies. I'm very much curious about what he's going to do with Dumbo. Dumbo is definitely not the first film from Disney I would think of Tim Burton to direct. If I was to say, is there a Disney live-action movie you want to see directed by Tim Burton, it would be Pinocchio. I just think Pinocchio would look very weird and quirky, rightfully so on the hands of Tim Burton. But I'm definitely very curious to see what he does with Dumbo, because Tim Burton can do a lot of visual horror very well and still incorporate it with comedy. Beetlejuice, for instance. I forgot Beetlejuice. And that's a great example. Thank you so much, Omar. Boopyish. Cosplay pitch. Dress up like a newspaper kid from the 50s and hold a broom by a transparent string. Bam, Broom Kid. Yes, Broom Kid from Star Wars The Last Jedi. That should definitely be an interesting cosplay for parents to dress up their children at Mardi Gras or at cons. That should be very interesting to see if it happens next year. Newt, where do you think is the last Infinity Stone? Wakanda. Wakanda. It's the only chance, and it makes sense. We are all expecting it for it to be on Thor Ragnarok. Why not Wakanda? Because it makes sense. The fact that because Wakanda is this vast, advanced civilization that was hidden away, and they have all this vibranium there, this mountain of vibranium that came from outer space. Doesn't it make sense that they have all these resources because of an Infinity Stone? Besides, in the Infinity War trailer, we see that there's stuff happening in New York, there's stuff happening in Wakanda. They are actively invading Wakanda, the army of aliens from Thanos. They are looking for an Infinity Stone, for sure. I am 99.9% sure it's in Wakanda. We're going to see it in Black Panther, and they are going to keep it, and we are going to lead into Infinity War with that. Brian Beebe, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. What movie are you looking forward most next year? Infinity War, for sure. It's not even a competition at this point. I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again because you weren't here, Brian. I'm probably going to do a most anticipated movies for the rest of 2018, midway through the year, around June, because in the beginning of the year we never know the movies that are going to be nominated for the Oscars and are coming out during Oscar season, at least until Sundance and the festival circuit starts. So I'm going to do one in the beginning of the year for sure, and I'm thinking of doing one so when we know more about the possible Oscar contenders, we can get a little bit more into that. And around June sounds like the right time to do that, possibly for me. But Infinity War for sure is my most anticipated one. Newt, who do you think was the actor who most stood out this year? Okay, so this is not best performance. This is not who I would give an Oscar to. I would say a tie, and for very different reasons. One, a tie because he went beyond what you should and could expect from him, and not just as an actor, but as a director, as a producer, and that's James Franco with The Disaster Artist. And I will also throw out there, because I did not believe in this actor before, Ansel Elgort from with Baby Driver. I really think this kid can do a lot. He also had a bad movie this year with Chloe Grace Moretz, The November Criminals. But I really, and also Tom Holland. Tom Holland showed that he can carry a movie on his own, so that's awesome. And he's going to clearly have an amazing franchise behind him. So yeah, James Franco is my choice. Let's do a top three. James Franco, Ansel Elgort. I always have a difficult time saying that dude's name, and Tom Holland. Philippe Miguel asks, who do you think of a Fire Emblem TV series? I know that is a game, but I've never played it. But it's, from what I know and from what I've seen, it looks like a fantasy game, a fantasy world, a fantasy story. So it's fantasy, so give it to me. I will watch it. But P.S., who's the director revelation of the... Oh my god. It's too easy to answer James Franco right now. It's too easy. But probably Denis Villeneuve. Probably Denis Villeneuve is the revelation, even though he's not a revelation. But let me just search, because we had Jordan Peele. We had Jordan Peele making his directorial debut. We had Patty Jenkins directing her only second movie ever with Wonder Woman. Let me quickly search on my reviews. Jake Kasdan did a very good job with Jumanji. Ryan Johnson was bold as fuck, as we all know. Aaron Sorkin, yes. My god, Aaron Sorkin. Aaron Sorkin was the revelation of the year. I know you still haven't seen Molly's Game. I am blessed. Pedro is blessed as well. I'm not sure if he's still on here, but we are both blessed. Molly's Game, absolutely. Aaron Sorkin is as much a master on behind the camera as he is over a sheet of paper writing it. He proves that with Molly's Game. Coolio asks, I think that the soul stone appears once the soul of a loved one is sacrificed. Okay, that is interesting. Not sure if they're going to go that route on the MCU, on the movies. That certainly is the case on the comics. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe because the conflict of Black Panther and his brother Eric Killmonger, they're going to need to sacrifice. He's going to kill someone he's closely related to, a father figure maybe. So I don't know. That's certainly a possibility, Coolio. Appears before the wielder, but it's a rumor I've heard. Take it with a grain of salt. Again, as you said, rumor. Brian Beebe asks, you said the name correctly? Well, I'm glad I did. I don't want to mispronounce anyone's name or offend anyone with my mispronunciations. Thank you so much for letting me know. Francisco Quintas. Hi there. Hi there. Thank you so much for joining us. Ask away, give opinions away. Let's chat about movies, 2018, 2017, a look back, a look forward. Let's talk. Welcome to the chat boards. Thank you so much for being here. Bupias, I'd say Dave Franco too. Dave Franco, yeah. And Domhnall Gleeson, because he's in everything. He is, and unfortunately I still haven't seen Goodbye Christopher Robin with Domhnall Gleeson, but also for Margot Robbie. I really want to watch that film. I'm watching a few more movies. I'm reviewing a few more movies until the end of the year, until my list for best and worst movies of the year comes out. Greatest Showman. I'm watching A Fantastic Woman. I'm watching Roman J. Israel Esquire, I think that's the name, with Denzel Washington, directed by the guy who directed Nightcrawler. So still a couple of movies coming. But Dave Franco, yeah, Dave Franco was certainly a revelation of what we knew to expect from him. Top three Tarantino films. Newt asks. Ah, wow. Okay. Number three, Django Unchained. Number two, no, wait. Okay, sorry. Number three, Inglorious Bastards. Number two, Reservoir Dogs, and number one, Pulp Fiction. And I don't think Tarantino will beat himself. Will beat Pulp Fiction. Brian asks, I was just reading that Tommy Wiseau wants to be in a Marvel or DCU movie. What character can you see him playing? Of course, Tommy Wiseau would say that. I would like him playing a cosmic character. Someone created by Jack Kirby or Jim Starlin. Just a kooky character. Maybe Impossible Man or Pip the Troll would be... Oh my god. Tommy Wiseau as Pip the Troll. I know that's a rumor that Pip the Troll is who Peter Dinklage is playing in Infinity War. But, my god. Pip the Troll. If you don't know who Pip the Troll is, he's exactly that. He's a troll. A troll as in the creature, not an internet troll. Just imagine Tommy Wiseau playing Pip the Troll. The DCEU, oh, I know exactly who I want to see Tommy Wiseau playing in the DCEU. Or in any DC film. Mr. Missiles Blick, that annoying dude that annoys Superman and you can only defeat by saying his name in reverse. Those are the dream castings for Tommy Wiseau in superhero movies. Thank you so much. Very, very great question, Brian. Francisco asks, did you watch Lucky? Yes, there's a review of it on my channel. Bupias, will Phantom Thread be good or boring? I don't know. The trailers, I like the trailers because Daniel Day-Lewis, greatest actor that ever lived, is going to leave us after this film. He's not going to die. He's not going to kill himself. He's going to retire. And it's directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. I don't want to get the other Paul Anderson in here. I don't know. I don't know because there seems to be a lot of intrigue with what the actual plot of the film is. Because you watch the trailer and there's this man who makes clothes, there's this girl he falls in love with and he wants to dress her up. But then there's something going on. They talk about a game he's playing without realizing and what he does to these clothes. He always hides away something in the clothes he makes. And that seems very interesting because I don't think we know everything that is going on with the plot of that film. There's certainly a possibility that it is boring. That is certainly a possibility. But I'm hearing praise for that film. That's for sure. And high praise. That's for sure. So, we'll see. Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, Inglourious Bastards were almost the same. We are. Kill Bill is not far off from me, Coolio. I love... it comes right after... It comes at 5th. Because I put the first one and the second one together. It's... So, number 1, Pulp Fiction. Number 2, Reservoir Dogs. Number 3, Inglourious Bastards. Number 4, Django Unchained. And then the Kill Bills. And then, I'm missing one movie. Then it's The Hateful Eight. And then, I'm missing one movie from Tarantino. Oh, Death Proof. Yeah, Death Proof is certainly his worst film, for sure. Thank you so much for sharing your top 3. Resident Evil blah, 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 is playing on TV right now. What do I do? Turn it off. Turn it off. Kill it with fire. And even... You have such an awesome TV, Bupias. Don't waste that TV's quality of picture with such a gigantic flaming pile of humid dinosaur vomit. That's what I want to see. Francisco asks, Why did you give a 10 out of 10 for Star Wars? Do you think some things could be changed for better storytelling? I think Rose Finn arc was super boring and bland. Snoke and Phasma were also pretty bad. I don't agree with Snoke and Phasma being pretty bad. I certainly don't think Rose and Finn arc was boring and bland. It was not great. It had a purpose. It had a clear, good purpose. It was just not executed the right way. And I did not give it a 10 out of 10 because I don't use that scale. My rating scale is my personal rating scale, and it's a personal fuck you to rating scales around there because it's how I felt watching a film. It's my experience. So I did not give it 10 out of 10. And I address it in my review that not everything is well pulled off. And there are certainly different degrees of 10 out of God damn it. Of the stuff that dreams are made of that I can give. There's certainly different degrees of collector's item that I can give. There's certainly different degrees of martini, a good time anytime that I can give. So I did not give it a 10 out of 10. And I do agree with some points you made. I do disagree with some points you made. Brian asks, any chance you will be coming to the Toronto International Film Festival this year? I would love to meet you, and I'm from Toronto. Brian, I would love to go to the Toronto Film Festival this coming year. I am not going to that yet. I certainly have that on my bucket list, if you know what I mean. This next year, I'm going to the London Film Festival. But I would love to go to Toronto. Look, dude, I would love to be from America or from Canada. I would love to not be from Portugal. Because I would just have the chance to watch many more movies, have better quality, maybe already be in the industry, who knows. But I'm moving to London, hopefully, this coming year. And it will be one step closer to get to Toronto and to hopefully meeting you one day. I would also love to meet you, dude. Thank you for your kind words. I'm certainly going to go to Toronto one day. That's for sure. Mutant X8 asks, hey Ren, I haven't seen The Last Jedi yet. Okay, so people, Mutant has not yet seen The Last Jedi, so let's be careful with spoilers for The Last Jedi. Hey Ren, I still haven't seen The Last Jedi, but seems like the Star Wars fanbase is overreacting to the movie. Was it good? Sorry I haven't watched your review because potential spoilers. Love your videos, by the way. Thank you so much, Mutant. You can watch my spoilers-free review for sure, the one that's like 10 minutes long. But completely understandable if you don't want to before the film. I think there is an overreaction, for sure. But both for the love that it's getting and for the hate that it's getting, I just think that we need to let it sink in for a bit. Because it was a very bold, it's a very controversial Star Wars film. For sure. Very different, very original, very... it expands the universe a lot. And it has different takes on concepts and elements that we knew before. But I certainly think there's an overreaction. Both on the positive side and on the negative side. Francis Quintas asks, at least on Cinema Planet you did. That's why. Oh yes, the review on Cinema Planet. Yeah, because I don't think the Rose Finn stuff is bad enough to get an entire point out of 10 out of 10. And on that, on the written reviews, I'm obligated to do a regular rating scale. So. But it does not really mean that much to me. That's why I always attach my video, because that's my true way of rating films. And I've already contemplated taking my rating scale out and just say that I recommend it and in which way I recommend that you watch a movie or not. But yeah, I just don't think the Finn and Rose plot in that film, even though it's certainly the weakest part of it, is bad enough to get an entire point out of the script for that film. But besides that, even if I did, it would be a 9 out of 10 on the script, and the rest would still be a 10 out of 10. But yeah, I just don't like using that scale. But thank you so much for bringing that up, Francisco. Bruna Pia says, I have to say Finn's arc was awesome. The story together was a problem. Yeah, Finn's arc works, just his plot with Rose doesn't. Coolio says, Tommy will be fun as Mistle... I don't know how to say that name. You're right. Be more funny if Godfrey dubbed over. Yeah, that's true. I watched that and the Batman TV series at least in every 2 years. but if I'm not mistaken, Gilbert got. I love that film. I related to it a lot, and yeah, of course, who wouldn't want Luke Skywalker to be your father, even if in a weird way? Even if in a weird way, if for you'll know what I mean. If you didn't, I'm not going to say anything because the actual answer, it sometimes seems to me like the Star Wars fan base, it's everything that comes out that really upsets me. Yeah, it's upsetting, especially with some of the stuff that has really come out ever since yesterday, with the the bigot and racist bullshit that some people just spew out to the world. And the climate right now is not healthy, and so we don't need those people to be on Star Wars or any other movie fan base, because they intoxicate every fan base that they are a part of. But yeah, thank you so much for asking, Mutant. I hope when you do watch The Last Jedi, you enjoy it, and I hope that we can get another live chat going so you can come in and share your opinion of The Last Jedi, or even on my review, or even on the Geeky Community Facebook group. Thank you so much once again. Brian asks, who do you want to play Wolverine now that Hugh Jackman is done with the role? I would love to see a Deadpool versus Wolverine film. It's tough because Hugh Jackman is so much Wolverine that it's hard to think of another actor. If you're going with a younger Wolverine, I would not say no to a fan casting out there that I've heard before, and that is Taron Egerton. Taron Egerton would be very cool if you're going for a younger Wolverine. If you're going older Wolverine, he's already playing another superhero, but Tom Hardy would also not be a bad choice. I would also say no, not Jason Momoa. I want him as Aquaman. But yeah, off the top of my head, I can't really think of one name. But Taron Egerton would be a cool choice. Tom Hardy would be a cool choice. Who else? Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac would not be a bad choice as Wolverine. I must say that. But send out suggestions, everybody. I would also love to see a Deadpool versus Wolverine film, or a team up, because you have that animated film Hulk versus Wolverine, and then they actually go into the Weapon X facility. I would love seeing a movie where you can take the Hulk out and it's just Wolverine being captured by the other mutants of the Weapon X program, and then Deadpool actually so much loves Wolverine that he teams up with him, and it's just them versus Omega Red and Lady Deathstrike and the others. It would just be really cool to see that in live action. Whoopi said, I think rating systems are helpful for the average Joe. Just wants a quick recommendation, but I myself no longer rate movies whenever I talk about movies on my channel, because sometimes I would regret my rating after a while or after a second watch. That has happened to me before, not to a drastic measure. I mean, I sometimes gave this ranking to a movie, and maybe it's very low on that level, or maybe it's just one grade below or something like that. But it has happened to me. I'm sure it has happened to a lot of us, but it doesn't happen very often, at least with me. I cannot speak for others. Mutant X8 says, yes, I absolutely will. Thanks again for your answer. I'm just doing a rewatch of all films. Spectacular. I also did that with all the reviews I had to make. Really excited about episode 8. Love your work. Keep it going, Ren. Thank you so much for your support, Mutant. It means a lot to me. I can never emphasize enough how much I cherish everyone's support of me and everything I do here. Great that you're watching all the other 8 movies. I also watch them because I do it every year, especially whenever another Star Wars film is coming out. But I did them this year. I watched all 6, in fact all 7 episodes leading up to Last Jedi, and reviewed them because I wanted to get these reviews done. And next year I'm reviewing every single movie that I haven't on the MCU. I'm reviewing Pixar movies, Mission Impossible movies, Jurassic Park movies. There's a lot of sequels and movies related to something that are coming out. I can't wait to give you all the new geek classics that I'm thinking about. Thank you so much, Mutant, once again. Francisco Quintas. What original Netflix movies of this year you enjoyed the most? I loved Okja. I loved To the Bone. I related very heavily to that film to immeasurable degrees. Mudbound was great. Mudbound is for some reason premiering on Portuguese cinemas next year. I'm not even sure if it's on Netflix right here, but yeah, I watched it on Netflix. Yeah, I was on the hotel on the Lisbon and Sintra Film Festival. I was on the hotel when I watched it on Netflix. I don't know where they are releasing it in Portuguese cinemas. That is just weird. Bupia says, "Have you watched Logan Noir?" Yes, I have, and it's awesome. It's Logan Noir is amazing. It could have. I could sit here and tell you it's just cool to see it in black and white, but it's not. It's really something. It's a whole, not a whole different experience, but it's a different experience watching that film and seeing it in black and white. And I would love if I could go back to the past and be able to choose to watch that film for the first time in black and white. That would be something else. Coolio says, "I really like Ray and Ben's relationship throughout. I love that as well. Carry the movie for me. I believe they both will balance the force somehow in episode 9, whether through love or companionship." That would be interesting. I personally don't see Kylo Ren as redeemable. I certainly don't want him to even try to redeem them, but that is certainly a possibility that is there. I don't want it. I don't think it's possible, in my personal opinion, looking at that character, looking at this route, but it's certainly possible and something that they've hinted at, even with episode 8. Coolio, you're not wrong there. Thank you so much. Yanel Montenegro says, "I've never watched a single Star Wars film." Well, my friend, now is the time to start. If you want to, of course. If you are not interested in those films, no one can blame you. It's your opinion. It's your life. You decide what you want to watch, what you don't want to watch. If you don't want to watch the Star Wars films, you're very much, what's the word I'm looking for? You're in your own right to do it. You are not obligated to watch anything you don't want to. Brian B says, "What's your opinion on Disney buying Fox?" On some level, I like it. On other levels, I'm afraid, because, not going to lie, it's a dream to see the Avengers and the X-Men and every single Marvel character ever on screen together in the MCU. That has worked for 10 years. And Kevin Feige has proved for 10 years to be a smart man, to know what he puts on the MCU, what he doesn't put on the MCU, how he includes stuff on the MCU, what he takes out, when he includes certain stuff or characters. For 10 years he has proved he is a smart man when it comes to that. And we all want Fantastic Four to finally work. So I like it on that front. It's a possibly it's a dream come true. On the other hand, I'm afraid, not so much of they're going to tone down the X-Men and stuff. I'm not afraid of that because, again, Kevin Feige is a very smart man, and even Bob Iger has said that there's a very strong possibility they will have a division for R-rated films, and Kevin Feige would not want to damage the quality and the love that we already have for Deadpool. Again, he's a very smart man about what he does, and so he wouldn't want to ruin that. So at the very least, he would just not do any more Deadpool. It would suck, but at the very least, that's what it would happen. But what I'm most afraid of is that, let's say this, the MCU already has so many characters that they are doing so many movies and sequels to. So many movies that have come out and they already have to do sequels to. For instance, Doctor Strange. We have one movie, they are for sure planning a second one. And they are doing a second one. If we get the X-Men and even more characters that come with them, let's put an hypothetical here. Instead of getting the Winter Soldier in 2014 and then getting Civil War, the third chapter, the one following that, 2016, 2 years later, we would have to wait immeasurable amount of time for sequels. For instance, Winter Soldier would come out in 2014, and then with all these new characters coming in and all the new characters they are already slated to come in, we would get like Civil War in 2019. We will possibly have to wait so much more time for sequels to come out. It will just damage the product, in my opinion. It will just neuter the excitement that we possibly have for looking into a sequel of this movie that we love possibly 2 years from now, just 2 years. For instance, I enjoy the prospect of having to wait every 3 months for the next MCU movie. It's exciting, and I'm anxious for it, but it's exciting the fact that we get that hype. We get to wait for the next movie to come out. So I'm afraid on that front that we will have to wait too much time for sequels to our possibly favorite movies coming out. That's the stuff I'm most afraid of. But thank you so much, Brian. Mutant X8, but man, it's still hard to get through episode 2. Absolutely, it is. But I'm really excited how it turns out to watch episode 3, Rogue One, and episode 4 back to back. That is true. That is very true. Episode 3, Rogue One, and episode 4 really do have a special connection in how you can watch them, and it's absolutely seamless. I absolutely agree, Mutant X8. Francisco Quinta, difficult question. What is your favorite 2017 movie? Don't say Star Wars. I will not say Star Wars, but I will not answer that. I will say Star Wars is one of my favorites now that you mention it. Brigsby Bear is one of my favorites. Molly's Game is one of my favorites. Disaster Artist is one of my favorites. But we are about a week away from me doing my top 10 best movies, or in this case top 20 best movies, because 2017 was a spectacular year for movies. We are about a week away from me doing my top 10 worst and top 20 best. So you will find that out then, Francisco. You'll find that out what my favorite movie of the year is then. There are many people who can guess if you followed me for a certain period of time. It will not be difficult to guess my my favorite movie of the year, but Star Wars is there. It's on the list. Not going to say if it's high, if it's low. It's on the list. I will just say that. But all the other ones that I mentioned also are there. I have not placed them yet, though. I have not ranked them. I'm doing that after The Greatest Showman on Wednesday, because that's the last movie I have to watch this year that I believe it has a chance of maybe I'll love it so much that it gets on the top 20. I don't know. Let's wait and see, because Fox didn't lift the embargo until the day it came out on the States, and I'm already getting it a week late, which sucks. Call Me By Your Name. Oh my god, yes, Call Me By Your Name. Yes. I'm going to your question, Brian, but I just saw that Francisco mentioned Call Me By Your Name. It's not my personal favorite. It's very high. I'll let you know that. It's very high. Call Me By Your Name, Francisco, it's very high on the list. I don't know how I did not mention that movie. That movie, wow. Brian Beebe says, my personal favorite is Baby Driver. Absolutely. That film is so great. Let me show you something. Ever since I watched Baby Driver. Oh, sorry. Ever since I watched Baby Driver, a day has not gone by where I haven't listened to at least 3 songs from this. That's how good the music alone is in Baby Driver. For sure, Brian. Francisco mentions, unfortunately, there are much more movies that hasn't still come out in Portugal. That is true. I was very lucky this year to be able to attend the Lisbon and Sintra Film Festival and to be able to catch all the movies I wanted to catch in there. The only film I didn't catch in there was How to Talk to Girls at Parties. That was around the festival circuit, but it's not being very much talked about right now. I skipped that, but I already had another film on the same day, and I prefer the other film. It looked better to me. It was being more talked about. So yeah. Newt, do you hope the third Maid Runner will be good, or do you think it will disappoint? I don't know. I genuinely really like the first Maze Runner. I like the first half of the second Maze Runner. I was looking forward to the Death Cure, because they wanted to do those year after year, and they were already looking for an early 2015. No, 2015 the Scorch Trials came out. They are already looking for an early 2017 instead of coming out in 2016, the year after the Scorch Trials. The Death Cure was always coming out on February 2017 this year. But unfortunately, Dylan O'Brien got injured very badly, so it was very big scare, and they had to delay the film. And I've only watched the first trailer. A few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, a new trailer came out. The first official trailer came out. I haven't seen that. I have not watched that one. But from the teaser, it looks good. I mean, just as good as the others looked. I don't think the first Maze Runner is amazing or anything, but I genuinely really like it. Um, I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's good because I don't want us to have Harry Potter and The Hunger Games as the two good young adult adaptations in movies. I want us to have more. I want every single movie to be good that I go and watch. So I'm afraid it will disappoint. There's a part of me that is very scared because they slated it to January. If they could have slated it to February, they could have slated it to March, even though March 2018 starts to get very packed. But I don't know, it could be just because they are trying to avoid competition. And because a lot of people are still looking forward to The Maze Runner, me included to some degree. It's not going to be on my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2018. But I'm looking forward to it because I want to see this trilogy conclude and conclude in a very good way. So here's hoping. Francisco Quinta, do you watch the Portuguese political drama São Jorge? It came out in March. It might be my favorite movie of the year. Nuno Lopes is the man. I did not get a chance to watch it, unfortunately. I actually had a lot of people asking me to go watch it and review it, but it just caught me on a very busy time because I was helping my girlfriend with her short film, and I just wasn't able to catch it, unfortunately, because I actually wanted to see it because I remember, and Newt I think can verify this. I asked on the Geek Community Facebook group if they wanted me to review São Jorge, and a lot of people, the majority of people, said yes. And I was planning on watching it, but it turned out I just didn't find the time, I just didn't find the chance with all the other movies that a lot more people were talking about and wanted me to talk about. Unfortunately, I just did not get the chance because I really wanted to see it because I'm a fan of Nuno Lopes, and I always like to see when comedians take a turn around and do a very heavy drama and actually do it well. And from what I've heard, he does it very well. And as you yourself say, Francisco, it turned out really well. Unfortunately, I just didn't catch it. Mutant X8. Did you ever wonder what would happen in Spider-Man 4? It is a shame that Sam Raimi wasn't able to do it. Yeah, they talked about what he wanted to do, and I'm completely with Sam Raimi wanting to leave Spider-Man after what Sony pressured him to do on 3 and just didn't give him enough freedom as a creator, as the voice behind the Spider-Man franchise. He was going to include Vulture, and he was going to be played by John Malkovich, and he was going to have Anne Hathaway as Black Cat, and then she wound up playing Catwoman. But I mean, it would have been a cool movie. Maybe in the film, from what I can't remember if a specific plot line was laid down. I know he had a villain and the actor, he had the Black Cat and an actress. I'm not sure if, because I remember in the Spider-Man 90s cartoon, Vulture had a daughter. Adrian Toomes had a daughter because he was a decrepit old man and such. I remember he had a daughter, and there was a conflict with the daughter that one time he used the daughter to take youth away from her. And I'm curious if Raimi would have made Felicia Hardy the daughter to Adrian Toomes in his version of Spider-Man 4. That would have been interesting. But unfortunately, Sony just shat all over his project. So unfortunately, we didn't see much after that, which is a shame. I agree with you, Mutant. Francisco says, buy the DVD or Blu-ray, you won't regret it. If you like dialogues from Moonlight, you will love São Jorge. I saw it on DVD, and it was too expensive. Sorry, it was too expensive for a DVD. It's not on Blu-ray, which is a shame, because if it was on Blu-ray, I would have bought it. because such a celebrated Portuguese movie that everyone is talking about, that won prizes at the Berlin Film Festival, and they did not put in the work or the money to make it to Blu-ray. Have a Portuguese film on Blu-ray, for fuck's sake. What's wrong with that? That would have been amazing. You're right. You're right, Francisco. I absolutely agree. And I will love the dialogue from São Jorge. Hopefully, I will. What about 2018 Netflix original series? What is coming out besides Castlevania, Daredevil season 3, Jessica Jones season 2? That's absolutely a must. I'm not sure what else is coming out. I'm not sure. Newt, I checked just to make sure my memory is failing. Yes, a lot of people said yes to your review of São Jorge. See, Francisco, I really wanted to watch it. I'm so sorry I didn't. Here's another disappointment. It Comes at Night. It Comes at Night with Piers. It was another disappointment. Not as big as the others, I gotta say, because I could still enjoy it. I could still be riveted by it, be engrossed in it, but certainly a disappointment. Brian asks, what is your least fave movie of all time? Don't say The Room, because that was hilarious yet terrible. No, The Room is not my least favorite movie of all time. My least favorite movie of all time is Dragon Ball Evolution. I hate that movie with a burning passion. I don't think... I never say never to... There will never be a movie that tops my favorite movie of all time. But I honestly believe there will not ever be a movie I hate as much as Dragon Ball Evolution. No, that I even hate saying the name. Dragon Ball Evolution is an offense to people. Just to people. Not even Dragon Ball fans. Not people who love Dragon Ball. Not people who like Dragon Ball. To people. That movie is fucking disgusting. And... Not a lot of people, but some people within my personal circle, not on comments or here. I have never been asked to review Dragon Ball Evolution, and I don't know if I would, if I was asked, because Chris Stuckman did a review of Dragon Ball Evolution, and I think he did the best job anyone could ever do reviewing that film. And... watching his review, I don't think there's any more to say about Dragon Ball Evolution, because Dragon Ball Evolution is like taking one of those brown bags and putting as much dog shit as you can on it, and then not throw it but rub it in anyone's face. Just people with brains. You actually do that to people with brains. If you have them watch Dragon Ball Evolution. I hate Dragon Ball Evolution. It fucking sucks. Boopia says, worst movie of the year, The Shack. The Shack is not good, but it's not worst of the year. Mutant X8. Okay, last question. Have you ever seen Daft Punk Electroma? Very interesting, thought-provoking art house film. Very nice that you did this Q&A. Really hard to get... talk to YouTubers these days. I don't think I've seen it, Mutant. I don't think I've seen it, but I have heard of it. The name is not strange to me. And you don't have to thank me for the Q&A. I thank you guys for being here. You guys are the ones that make this possible. If you weren't here, I would be talking to nobody. Thank you so much, and I love doing these. I'm hopefully doing more of these. And we've been here for 2 hours. My God, this ended up turning out really, really well. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, you don't have to thank me, Mutant. I have to thank you. Newt, we do not talk about that excrement. Well, you guys asked. I had to answer. I'm sorry. Bruno Alves is here. Bump. Howdy, bro. Howdy, bro. How you doing? Let's talk about movies in 2017 and 2018. Join the conversation. Dexter says, hi, man. Hello, Dexter. You are welcome. Let's talk about movies. Francisco Quinta says, First to Kill My Father was one of the nominees with the Golden Globes. The best foreign language movie might be nominated for the Oscars. So George's is so much better. By the way, what did you think of First They Killed My Father? I have not seen it yet. I have not seen it. You just by mentioning it, I am watching that film absolutely in the next few days. Not saying I'm going to review it, but I have to watch that film in the first few days because I was really taken by that trailer, and I'm a fan of Angelina Jolie as a director, so I really want to see that film. For sure. Thank you so much for reminding me of that, Francisco. I almost missed it. Brian says my least favorite movie is 50 Shades of Grey of all time. Yeah, that is for sure a candidate. Although I will say 50 Shades of Grey was the best comedy of 2015. No, it wasn't. I'm kidding. Spy. Spy was the best comedy of 2015, but 50 Shades of Grey was also hilarious. Not in the way they wanted it to be. But yeah, it's a shitty movie for sure, Brian. Francisco says, First to Kill My Father was very good. Angelina became a very good director, but it's not an enjoyable movie if you get. I mean, absolutely, it does not seem like enjoyable is the word to describe it. Francisco, thank you so much for sharing. Brian, have you ever walked out of a movie because it was so bad? I have. What was that movie? It was before I started my channel. But it was not long before I started my channel. What was that movie? God, it was in 2014. It was in 2014. I have not walked out of many movies in my life. Not many. I'm thinking maybe I could count on one hand and not even use all my fingers with all the movies I've walked out of. But I have walked out of a movie before. I just can't remember which one. I'm seriously blanking. I'm so sorry, Brian. I'm so sorry. I'm not remembering it. Bruno Alves says, give this man all the love he deserves it. Thank you so much, bro. He's my best friend, so he's a little bit suspicious. Is the stream lagging? I think so. I don't have the best internet. I don't have the best software. I think so, but people are sending in questions, and from what I'm understanding, they are getting my answers. So, Bruno says, you haven't seen The Room, have you, Brian? Oh, wait, that's the best movie ever. Yes, it is. Haha. What a funny story, Bruno. Ha. Zach Pope is back and he says 50 Shades of Zach Pope is a better film. I bet it is, my friend. I bet it is. Francisco Quinta says it was a violent and revolting movie. It was very depressing but extremely realistic and brutal. Angelina Jolie is very good. I am very much looking forward to that, to watching First I Killed My Father. I can't believe I forgot that film. I'm so ashamed. Jesus Christ. Coolio says, interested in Riverdale? Saw the first season and thought it was engaging with the murder mystery, but I lost interest towards the current second. The current second season, I'm guessing you mean. It didn't appeal to me, so I didn't try it, but my girlfriend and a few of my friends are huge fans of it, and here in Portugal it comes out on Netflix weekly when the episodes come out there in the States, and they are huge fans of it. It didn't appeal to me, but I also didn't give it a chance, just because I already watched so much stuff on TV, and I'm already lagging and delayed on so much TV shows. I haven't given it a chance, so I can't say how I feel about it, I can't comment on it, but from the looks, from the trailers, just didn't appeal to me. I've also never been a fan of the Archie comic books, so that's it. Asking the same question I tried to ask Clark Gregg. How many seasons do you think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will have? 6. 6 is a strong possibility, although wouldn't be surprised if Season 5 is the last season, Newt. Just because ABC already wanted to end the show this season. The past season, they already wanted to end it with that cliffhanger on Season 4. What the fuck? But I'll give it 6. I'll give it 6 because this season is really resonating with people from what I understand. The ratings are strong by each episode from what I understand. So I'll give it 6. Yeah. Bruno Alves and Clark didn't answer you because he probably already knows the answer. The producers already talked to him about what they suspect might happen, what they see happening, what they have laid out. Maybe the writers are writing for this very season to be the last one. That's why he didn't answer you. I'm sure of that. Um, Bruno Alves says you had to watch The Room, Samurai Cop, and Dragon Ball Evolution all in one sitting. Which drink would you choose to help you plow through? Jägermeister. Jägermeister with some magic brownies. Yeah. And I wouldn't need any of that stuff to watch The Room or Samurai Cop. Those films are hilarious on their own right. But that would absolutely be the drink of choice would be Jägermeister and some magic brownies. Newt says, "What about The Last Airbender?" Yeah, that that is in the top 10 most hated films of all time for me, maybe. But I do give this to The Last Airbender. The trailers made me hopeful. The trailers for Last Airbender were not great. Were not, oh my god, this is The Last Airbender. They're doing it right. They were not that, but they were not equal to the film that we got by the end. So I will at least give The Last Airbender that. I will at least give it that. The trailers, they were good. I enjoyed the trailers. They were fine. They were like, this can go very wrong, but I like this. It's not the show, but I like this. Francisco Quinto says 3 great movies are celebrating 10 years in 2017. Sweeney Todd is great. There Will Be Blood is amazing, and the best Daniel Day-Lewis performance for me, and the best performance of all time given by any actor to me. And No Country for Old Men. Love all of those. What do you think of those? You haven't seen these? Shame on you. I have seen them. They are all great movies. If I would rank them, There Will Be Blood, No Country for Old Men, and Sweeney Todd for sure. Sweeney Todd is the one I only watched last year. No, not last year. 2 years ago, summer of 2015. That's when I watched it for the first time, and only time so far, shamefully, because I still haven't found it on Blu-ray to put it in my collection. Moonman, what's the difference between a taco and a dead baby? The taco isn't as greasy. Okay. Brian Beebe says, needless to say, the morning after wasn't too pleasant. Oh, sorry, I missed one question, Brian. Yes, I have seen The Room. Me and a friend of mine turned it into a drinking game. I just did that this past summer. Whenever Tommy would say, "Oh, hi, Mark," or refer to Lisa as his future wife, we would take a shot. Needless to say, it wasn't a pleasant morning. That is very true. It also wasn't a very pleasant morning to me. But funny enough, a friend of mine, also my friend with whom I was watching The Room and making the drinking game out of, also thought I was going to puke, and he gave me a bucket, and I never felt the need to puke, and I told him that. He didn't believe me, but then I didn't puke. What if every time Tommy Wiseau laughs, we take a drink? Ha 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 ha. Then take a drink right now. I'm telling you. Ryan Baby, try playing this version of The Room drinking game. Francisco says, do you have high expectations for the Han Solo spin-off? At least right now, no. Not high hopes. I have hopes. I really want to see the film. It will be in my top 10 most anticipated films of the year, just because it's attached to Star Wars. I will tell you right now, that is a reason. That is the reason it will be there. Until I see a trailer. If a trailer comes out within the next few days before I do my list, it might take it off the list because it's a bad trailer. It might bump it up the list because it's a really good trailer. I really like the enthusiasm I'm seeing from everybody, though. From Ron Howard with his backstage stuff. From Paul Bettany, an interview we did a few days ago, I think with Variety, if I'm not mistaken, talking about it will be likely like a gangster film, which is certainly a vibe I can see Han Solo having. So I'm looking forward to it. And I want it to be good, of course. and I still believe it will be good. But let's see. A trailer is what will make it or break it for me in terms of anticipating the film. Bran Stark, it's Manny. I can't wait for you to watch The Shape of Water. Oh my god. Don't talk to me about The Shape of Water. I still remember it was supposed to come out in the UK on December the 1st, and it made me decide to go to the UK in early December to catch all these movies, and then it was delayed to February 2018 in the UK after it's released in Portugal. I'm only watching it in late January, early February, because it's coming out in Portugal on February 1st. I want to see The Shape of Water so much. I can't wait to see that film. My boy Guillermo. Thank you so much, Manny, for reminding me the pain that I have. It's The Shape of Water, The Post, I, Tonya, and All the Money in the World. Those are the big four I will not be able to watch this year, unfortunately. Francis Quinta says, what about the probable future Obi-Wan, Boba Fett, and Jabba the Hutt spin-offs? Obi-Wan, definitely. I definitely want an Obi-Wan movie. That is definitely a movie I think we need, I think most of us want, and I think a story that should be told. Boba Fett, that has been in the rumblings, but again, it's one of those, it's in development, so it doesn't mean anything. And Jabba the Hutt, I think it's the same thing. Although Jabba the Hutt, I can see, I don't necessarily, if they come out and say, we are doing a Jabba the Hutt film officially, I'll say, okay, let me hear more stuff about this, more of the take they are having on it. If that came out, I would not be excited for the Jabba the Hutt movie. I don't necessarily want it, but there's some cool stuff you could do with the Jabba the Hutt movie, possibly. Favorite Mad Max movie? I don't know. It's either Road Warrior or Fury Road. And I'm not even the biggest fan of Fury Road. I thought Fury Road was overrated. And I have it on my Blu-ray collection. I have a steel book of it, for sure. I really enjoy the film. Just thought it was overrated, but I really liked them. And yeah, it's Fury, maybe Fury Road. I'll have to say Fury Road because Charlize Theron gives it that edge. Bruno. Wait. Brent Stark says, Zodiac, Juno, and Superbad are my favorites of 2007. Zodiac is definitely mine. It's definitely one of mine. Sorry. It's definitely one of my favorites as well, Brent Stark. And Superbad is one of my favorite comedies of all time, for sure. Bruno says, what are your thoughts on the possible Lord of the Rings series? I enjoy. I like that we are possibly getting a series in Middle Earth. The fact that it's on Amazon, because I enjoy some Amazon shows, don't get me wrong, but what always is very bad on those is the visual effects, and you're not gonna pull off Lord of the Rings series with bad special effects. But I would love to explore that world in a TV show, that's for sure. Brand Star. Oh wait, I'm missing. Okay, sorry. Francisco says, what do you think about the recasting of Kevin Spacey in All the Money in the World? Kevin Spacey is one of my favorite actors, but I completely understand Ridley Scott's decision. I echo your thoughts. He's one of my favorite actors as well, just as he was great in Baby Driver. But completely understandable. But I think it's actually kind of poetic that it turned out that they could use a man who is an older actor that doesn't need all that makeup, and is the guy who they wanted, who Ridley Scott wanted in the first place, and the kid in the film is actually Charlie Plummer, Christopher Plummer's grandson, if I'm not mistaken. So it's actually kind of poetic how all this horrible situation with Kevin Spacey made things turn out. Brand Stark says, Alita, Annihilation, or Isle of Dogs, which one are you more hyped for? I'll have to say Annihilation. I'm very hyped for Isle of Dogs, that's for sure. I wouldn't consider myself hyped for Alita at this moment. I did not hate the trailer. I liked it. It's got some work to do on it. I enjoy the intention of the anime eyes, but at least right now it's still very weird. At least in the trailer, I love the look of Ed's screen in that, but it looks like it could go very wrong because the characters do look a lot like typical Robert Rodriguez's characters, but then the world is very dark and dreary like a typical James Cameron futuristic sci-fi like Terminator. So I don't think those two gel well, at least in the trailer, but let's see. But out of those, Annihilation tops it for me, then Isle of Dogs, and Alita just isn't there. Oh, sorry. Brian BB asks, what's your opinion on the Raid movies? In my opinion, they're the best martial arts movies ever made. I'm sad they're not doing a third film. I love them. The Raid movies are spectacular. They are the shining example of how everyone should do action ever since they came out. I mean, it irks me so bad, even more than before the Raid films, that we still get shaky cam in today's day and age in action films. It's inexcusable. My apologies. It's inexcusable after seeing what the Raid movies can do with not a big budget that we still get shaky cam. My god, the Raid movies are so good. I need to rewatch those. I haven't rewatched those a long time. I haven't rewatched the second one in a long time just because it's too long. That's my only gripe with it. But the Raid movies, my god, just that action scene with Mad Dog. My favorite part of the Raid fight scenes in both movies is still in the first one, when he just takes that dude's head and jumps back and just sticks it on the lower part of the door that has the wood all cracked up. That is still my favorite part of all the fight scenes in the Raid. Thank you so much, Brian. Francisco asks, I like Christopher. Oh wait, I lost it. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I like Christopher Plummer very much. I think it was a good recasting choice. Yeah, I also think so. Because he was the guy who really Scott wanted in the first place. And when you do look at it, when you do look at how Kevin Spacey looked like in the first trailer, when he was still the guy that was going to be in the movie, he does look a bit like Christopher Plummer. That's for sure. Bloom says Superbad for the win, for sure. By the way, have you been watching the SWAT TV series on AXN? No, I haven't. I just wasn't attracted to an idea of a SWAT TV show. Me, Philippe. I'm just not. I'm not even that big a fan of the 2003 movie with Colin Farrell and Samuel L. Jackson. So it was just not for me. Not saying it's good or bad. I haven't seen it. I don't know, but it just didn't attract me. Francisco said Charlie and Christopher Plummer aren't. Oh, they aren't. Oh, okay. But I see I wasn't the only one that thought they were. Thank you so much for correcting me. I agree completely about the makeup thing. Yeah. Coolio says watching 2001 Space Odyssey tonight. Ever seen it? Yes. Thoughts? It's still a challenging movie. It's still a movie that every time I watch it, I ask myself if I have did I get this film? That's why I ask myself every time I watch it to this day. My favorite part is still the initial sequence with the monkeys and then transforming into the spaceship. That is epic cinema. Not my favorites from Kubrick though, but excellent film, revolutionary film there. That you are in for a treat. Very slow burn. It's a slow burn for sure. If you are sleepy, I would not recommend watching that film. But if you want to invest your brain and challenge yourself and just think of when that film was made, the political climate, the social climate, the cultural climate of the time, it's a Kubrick movie for sure. So I hope you enjoy it, Coolio. Bruno Alves, have you ever heard of the Erased live-action adaptation on Netflix? I have not. The anime Erased, about that kid who goes to the past to try and save his girlfriend, who is actually his girlfriend. There's a oh wow, there's a live action of that. Oh. Okay. Thank you so much for letting me know, Bruno. Francisco says, "Do you like the X-Men series, The Gifted?" I'm really enjoying. Yes, I am loving The Gifted, man. I did not trust The Gifted at all. It was not like it looks bad, but I was like, okay, let's see what this is. I am loving The Gifted. I am in love with the girl that plays Lauren, Natalie something. I shouldn't say this because I'm not sure if she's 18 already, but I'm in love with her. And I'm in love with Polaris, and Eclipse is actually one of my favorite characters as well. I never thought I would say that, but I'm really enjoying it as well. Glad someone else is, Francisco. Bruno, it's one of my sins. I've never watched 2001. I've watched many Kubrick films, including Paths of Glory. Paths of Glory is also a great one. Full Metal Jacket is my favorite Kubrick film. Mine as well, Bruno. Erased. Ha! Huh, so there is an Erased live action on Netflix. I have to check that out after Troll Hunters and after The Crown and after Dark and after some of the other shit. Brent Stark says, Renato over any YouTube reviewer. Thank you so much, man. You are too kind. I do not reserve such high compliments. You guys are the best. Thank you so much, truly. Um, that live action adaptation is Japanese, not Hollywood. Okay, maybe why I didn't know of it. That's true, but if it's on Netflix, still surprises me. I did get the Tokyo Ghoul live action movie um that came out in 2017, just this year. So I'm going to watch that also in the next few days. Not sure if I'll review it though. Um, Coolio says film or digital. I'm not sure what you're asking. If you're asking in which format to watch 2001, not sure. Sorry. Bruno says yeah, it's Japanese. Don't worry, no problem. I need to watch Blade of the Immortal. Rented it the other day. Says Brent Stark. Really enjoyed Blade of the Immortal, and it's Takashi Miike's 100th film. This dude has directed everything from martial arts movies, from heavy dramas, psychological horrors, comedies, fantasy films. You are going to enjoy Blade of the Immortal, Bran. Dexter. Have you seen Narcos on Netflix? I have not seen the whole show. I saw the first episode of season 3 because I actually interviewed through my phone. I still have the number of one of the actors that was on the show. He came in on the third season. He's a Portuguese actor. He plays one of the 4 drug overlords, but I'm forgetting the name of the character. Let me quickly check my IMDb to see the name of the character. All right. He plays Chepe Santa Cruz on Narcos. I interviewed him because he's a Portuguese actor and he was going to be on that. But I have not seen the whole show. But I am wanting to give it a chance. That's for sure. Bruno says I won't get invited to your party once I mention I haven't seen the new Blade Runner yet. You suck, Bruno. But it's online. So do with that what you must. Coolio says, sorry, let me clarify. No need to be sorry, my friend. Do you prefer movies shot in film or digital? It really depends on the film. Like Dunkirk. It's if you get the chance to see that in film in a 70mm theater, do it. For instance, any superhero film, any Star Wars film that I love so much and is very dear to my heart, I don't think it would compensate to shoot it on film. So it really depends on the film, on the genre, what you want to capture with your visual storytelling, what type of movie you are making. Christopher Nolan and Tarantino to this day are the biggest defenders of shooting on film. And Iñárritu, if I'm not mistaken, The Revenant was shot on film. I might be wrong on that. I'm not sure, but there was another. But yeah, it really depends on the film. But I'm also a big defender that we should keep making films in film to keep it alive. Next week, no. I'm I'm possibly going to a college in London next year, and they do have 70 millimeter and 35 millimeter roll film. So I'm definitely looking forward to shooting some stuff on film if I get into that college. That's for sure. Thank you so much for the question, Coolio. Francisco says, I love Kubrick. I fucking absolutely love Kubrick. You're invited to read my Portuguese blog. I wrote top 10 of his filmography. Man, I love Kubrick. It's on Cinema Planet. So go check out Cinema Planet. Francisco talks about Kubrick a lot. And he's a fantastic director, so I don't see any reason why not to talk about Kubrick. Coolio. Directors like Tarantino and Lone do great in keeping film alive. That's absolutely sure. They do great film. They do great work in keeping film alive. I meant the link to my blog is on my profile there. Oh, okay. The link to his blog is on the Cinema Planet website, so go check that out. Francisco. Dunkirk was a pleasant experience. Yes, absolutely. I watched it in France on the I'm forgetting the name. I'm forgetting the name of the movie theater chain, but I watched it on the movie theater that is right outside the Disneyland park, and it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. Biggest screen I've ever seen. I've ever watched a movie in. That's for sure. You watched Mindhunter yet? Yes, I binge watched Mindhunter the weekend it came out. Ran. I love that show. Yeah, someone earlier today asked best TV show of 2017. Mindhunter is definitely on the running there. Yeah, that's for sure. The Hateful Eight is another example of 70 millimeter. Yes, Tarantino. I also love that film as well, and it's beautifully looking on film. But well, guys, where I'm from, it's 1:30 in the morning, so I loved doing this, guys, and I thank you so much. All of you were here throughout. You guys are amazing. I do have to rest my head right now because tomorrow it's Christmas Eve, and I still have to exercise. And I have to bake a lot tomorrow. Eduardo just came in and says hello. I'm sorry to be leaving as you came in, Eduardo. But thank you so much for coming in. I will do a poll on the Geeky Community Facebook group, asking you guys when you want the next live stream, and hopefully that one will not take like 5 attempts to get going. But I will quickly answer Brian, who asks, rank these Christopher Nolan films from best to worst: Dunkirk, Dark Knight, Memento, Inception, and Interstellar. Inception is still number 1. Dunkirk is number 2. Dark Knight number 3. Memento number 4. And Interstellar number 5. And Dark Knight, Memento, and Dunkirk could easily be interchangeable because Nolan is my favorite director. I love all his films. Francisco says I should do more of these Q&As. Pedro Fernandes comes in. I'm so sorry, Pedro. I'm about to leave. Says, what's up? Thank you so much for joining. I'm so sorry. I have to leave. It's 1:30 in the morning. Francisco, I will absolutely do more of these Q&As. Tomorrow I will post a poll on the Geeky Community Facebook group asking you guys when you want to see the next live stream, when's the best time, when's the best day, and I want as many people on there. But right now I'm going to exercise, pull some iron, and then I'm going to bed. And tomorrow I'm going to bake all day, and watch movies and TV shows all day. I'm probably watching an episode of Troll Hunters. Dexter says bye, and it's so late. I need to sleep. Well, apparently it's late where Dexter is from as well. Guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you all, or Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. May peace be with you and your family. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I'm extremely blessed, thankful, and I will cherish this first ever live stream with you guys forever. I hope I don't delete this video when I turn this off, but if I do, I will re-upload it and it will be here for your viewing pleasure. Thank you so much once more. Apologies for the quality in video or in sound. Peace to you all. Merry Christmas. Enjoy it. See you guys on the next live stream and the next review.